Hi, welcome to the Triforce Podcast, where we talk about video games, we talk about movies, anime now, apparently.
Yeah, we're fucking multimedia at this point.
That alone is going to get us copyright.
Watch the show.
No.
It's the Triforce.
Hey, man.
Hello! Holy shit, I can see your face!
I know. It's so crazy to be back in studio for a multitude of reasons. One of which is I'm, not as close to you as I used to be. In distance.
No, I know, I just need you to move closer to the mic, though.
Oh. I'm much closer now.
Yeah, it's good.
Not just in distance, but yeah, I'm actually at home. I am in Long Island. I'm not in my apartment.
Oh my god. How
does
it feel?
It's been pretty cool. My parents have been on vacation, so I've been house sitting and dog sitting with Eddie.
I love him.
Yeah, I've sat on him in every room in the house so far.
Is that on purpose?
Not every
or?
room, but like,
Okay.
No, at least half were on accident.
Like after the third time, you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna do it now for fun.
Yeah, but like having like a checklist of stuff to do and like take out the trash, water the flowers. I'm like, wow.
For like 2 seconds, I thought you had a checklist of every room in the house in which you haven't settled.
Still have to figure out the downstairs bathroom. No, just some stuff to take care of, while my family's away. And taking out the trash, I was like, wow, I'm back in Morioh town. I'm back in like my hometown, like simple living, not big city life. And so I think it's only fitting that we chat some Jojo Part 4, the end of Jojo Part 4.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man,
it's the end of my stay. Actually, I'll be gone by it's Thursday, so by like Friday night or Saturday night I'll be gone.
Holy shit, dude!
So yeah, it's pretty cool to do this in studio. I love you.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have you here. Like it's just so good to see your goddamn face. So.
I'm fresh. I'm here. I'm freshly dimpled, and I'm ready to get started.
Yeah, I'm glad everybody out there can see that.
Yes, just you and me. That's
Yeah,
just for
absolutely.
Yeah, we've gone on record and said that we love Part 4, and we've gone through a lot of Part 4, and there's a little bit left. So we should probably catch people up to where we were last time.
A bunch of shit happened. There was a dude in a radio tower. There's an alien, and Rohan lit his house on fire.
Right, and Rohan also has a horrible stand attached to him for a brief period of time.
Oh, the feet stand. Oh, the feet stand. I hate it, man.
No. Cheap Trick.
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah. That's the last thing that happened to Rohan before we broke.
Oh, that is the... Okay, yeah. I thought that was the feet stand. That was Highway Go-Go.
That's Highway Go-Go.
Highway Go-Go.
I fucking can't believe it. That's the one. But Hayato, the little kid, finds out Akira killed a couple of people and catches it on film. And he confronts him and he reveals that he's like, I've got you, motherfucker. So,
yeah.
So we're going to see how that works out because it doesn't really work out for Hayato.
No, it doesn't. It gets so weird from here on out.
Yeah, but it does force Kira into a very specific corner that he, Jojo villain bullshits his way out of.
Yes, he does. Yes, he very much does.
So, like, maybe we should chew on Kira for a second. I mean, what a unique villain for this series.
Yeah. What a unique villain in, like, anime in general. I feel like Kira is such a small-time villain. You know what I mean? He's such a small-time villain. All he wants to do is terrorize this one little pocket of Japan. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah, no.
Like, I just don't... it's so weird to me that he's this dangerous and this, like, scary when... his radius of influence is maybe 30 miles.
Not everyone can be Thanos, it's not like that. And I think I've heard of something very hilarious and very similar when it comes to superheroes, where their spheres of influence can also vary as well.
Yeah.
So there's like the Avengers, like the protectors of the universe. Like, you've got we've got heroes like Spider-Man, who saves all of the 5 boroughs of New York City all of the time.
Yeah. And New York City's fucking huge.
Yeah, and we got Luke Cage. He's the hero of Harlem, which is its own borough of New York City. But Daredevil, like, a couple of blocks in Midtown Manhattan, and that is it. Like, that's all. That's all I can do for you. So,
if it's out of the radius of my law firm, that's unfortunate.
As soon as it's not Hell's Kitchen, let me tell you, it is not my problem.
As soon as DoorDash stops delivering to me.
Literally. Yeah, so, I feel like there's got to be villains to match. There's got to be, you can't always have a villain like Ra's al Ghul. You have to have your ventriloquists, right?
You can't have a King Crimson right now.
No, God, not yet. Yeah. Not yet. I came over here thinking we were going to start talking about part 5. I forgot. We left off these like 4 episodes.
We might overlap into part 5 a little bit.
We could do the first if you want.
it like almost directly goes into part 5.
True.
But I feel like there's an art quote actually about about restriction, and restriction can make art beautiful because you have to be more creative with the limits you are set, which is why I think Kira is such an interesting and dangerous villain, because he's only in this little corner,
right?
And it's just and also he could bring that anywhere he fucking wants.
Right. Well, Kars was the ultimate being. Dio was 100-year-old, vampire. This guy is just really into hands. Like, that's it.
This is Jeffrey this is explosive Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, this is
okay. Let's
You've heard of BTK, how about TNT?
Jesus Lord. We got episode, so essentially Kira is believed to be in a corner where killing him, he could kill Hayato and Shinobu, his mom, but it would pretty much essentially prove his guilt.
Yeah.
So as we enter episode 35, Another One Bites the Dust part 1, or Bites the Dust part 1 in English dub.
I don't understand how removing the another one part makes it okay. I don't pretend to be a lawyer, but I did take music law for a while, and
it's kind of dumb.
Another one bites the dust is a common phrase.
It can't be copyrighted.
You can't do that.
Well, I think because it's an overall Queen stand, right? So it's got Sheer Heart Attack. That's a Queen album. Right?
I know, but
Killer Queen. That's like one of Queen's most famous songs, arguably, aside from some of the more famous ones.
Yeah, but at the same time, those ones change. Yeah, I get that, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Because it's also weird because when you see him do the Japanese VA, he goes, bites the dust. He doesn't say, another one bites the dust.
Yeah, I guess.
Either way, OAD on that was November 26, 2016 in the subs, and May 12, 2019 in the English dub. An infuriated Kira inadvertently kills Hayato in a manner that would not look like an accident, aka he blew up a child.
For the second time this season.
Honey, I popped the kids. I don't know what he's supposed to do to that. Oh my God. He stuffed his ass right into the closet. And the wife is like, what happened? He's like, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Even worry about it. Hayato went to go get some milk.
He's like, you went into the bath together. He's like, went out the window. Like, naked? This wife is...
kids.
Stupid, man.
Oh, my God.
So Yoshihiro, the photo of your granddad that is still alive.
So weird.
Yoshihiro then appears and reveals that Rohan and the others now consider Kosaku Kawajiri, who is the man whose face Kira's currently stealing, as a suspect and plan to visit.
Yeah, that's... I just don't understand how you find this person after they change their entire ass face. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, like that still is baffling to me that they had to start entirely again to find another motherfucker that does this stuff.
Yep, true.
Like, and that also is like, that could be a different motherfucker doing that stuff.
Sure. And you would have absolutely almost no idea.
Oh my God.
So Kira freaks out and does what he does when he freaks out, which is bite his nails. We've seen this before.
So weird. I mean, I get it. I do that too, but like, oh, it's weird that he saves them.
Not to this degree. Like he's like bleeding profusely. It's a lot. Like, so Yoshihiro's arrow senses Kira's anxiety because he's just like, hey, all of the stand users that know your shit just found you out again.
Yeah.
And he's just like, is now a bad time to mention that Hayato's in the closet? Like, Hayato's in the what? And he just clicks it open.
Hayato is chunky salsa in the closet right now. Is that going to be an issue?
Child-sized slushy right there.
Oh no.
Dude. Like, it's not as bad
wild, Jerry.
It's not as bad as we're making it out to be, I think, but it is pretty funny to consider that, you know, he killed him in such a way that it would like, no, this child didn't slip and fall.
No, unless he slipped and fell on a World War II landmine.
I literally heard this story of this guy who was just like very, you know, one of those unsolved cases, and like there was blood on the bed, on the ceiling, on the bathtub, like all over the place. And when asked, he said, I fell and hit my head on the bathtub. And the host goes, hell of a fall. You know, like, so, you know, like, he's fucked. He is fucked.
Oh my God.
However, Yoshihiro's arrow senses Kira's anxiety and impales him of its own will, entering his body.
My God. Like, that sentence alone, that just... Like, imagine every time you got anxious, you just got impaled by an arrow. Like, oh my God.
I'd bleed out within the first day.
I would be a pincushion by the end of day one. Like, oh.
Have you ever seen that gif of the dude being shot with like the comical amount of arrows? Like, that's me after one day at work. Like, oh my God. So that's also a thing because Yoshihiro has been able to move around because the stand arrow was trying to seek out other stand users.
Right.
So that's kind of the explanation that Araki's given here to why the arrow just chose Kira supposedly again. You know, it does enter his body of his own will. So it just like he was like holding on to the side of the photograph and it just enters his wrist, and there's this whole scene of it entering his like arm, and you can see it underneath the skin. It's insane. However, it enters Kira's body and gives Killer Queen a new ability.
As if it needed another one.
That's 3 stands right there.
That is 3 stands.
3 stands. 3 stands and a substand.
Oh my
Christ.
God.
So the next morning, Hayato appears alive and well.
I just feel like Dio is in the background like, what the fuck?
Like, I cannot believe this shit is being stolen by these small hands, for God's sake. I tried to take over the world.
I literally sought out an entire lineage and killed so many people just trying to murder them.
Couldn't this man just go to a Macy's and just figure it out and just steal some mannequin hands?
He could do that. Like, oh my God. I would argue that Killer Queen is way more dangerous than the world. Way more dangerous.
Gotta disagree. Hardcore.
Really?
Yeah, you could just stop time, bro. You gotta be kidding me.
I guess so, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Bites the dust is easily the most powerful ability of the three. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain a little bit further.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hayato appears alive and well the next morning, believing he has had a nightmare of being killed, while noting Kira being strangely confident enough to reveal his true name, as the man indirectly reveals the other stand user's existence. So he's able to say, "I am Yoshikage Kira," which, as we know, is something he's not famous for doing.
Yeah.
Showing an entire new level of confidence in his serial killing.
And that, if you've listened to any true crime documentary at all, ever, is the beginning of the end for the serial killer.
True.
Always. No matter what kind of fucking weird powers you have. That's it.
I'm just glad that regular serial killers don't also have stents.
Oh my god. Could you imagine?
Because that makes them categorically worse.
Yeah, I'll fucking say.
This is like giving an already insane person an access to a portable tank.
This is when I can control my hallucinations. Oh my god. No. Nope, we're good.
Yeah, and he also reveals, he's like, oh, you're thinking you're phoning Jotaro Kujo and Kishibe Rohan, right? I know about them too. He's strutting. He's flexing on him right now. While Hayato is on his way to school, Rohan reads his memories with Heaven's Door, ignoring a warning as he reads events that will occur within seconds before reaching the page revealing Kira's identity. So it's if you read any further, you'll explode. Right? Something like that.
I mean, if I had a stand power and I saw that, I feel like I'd Lisa Simpson in it. I'd just be like, oh, that sign won't stop me because I can't read.
Yeah.
I just can't. I feel like I would just do that. I would be the dumbass here. I know that.
You would read on.
I'd read ahead because it's there's no fucking way.
If it says, if you read any further, you will explode.
After we
have confirmed
I'm not
that we are chasing a serial killer that makes things explode with his thumbs.
I'm not confident in my lack of curiosity. I'm not confident.
That's a level of self-influence that I will never understand. Wow.
I just know myself too well. I'd be like, maybe if I peek at it, it won't count as me reading.
A wise man once said, know thyself,
Yeah. I know my curiosity would eat at me too much.
That is incredible. So, Rohan pulls what you would do here and reads ahead and falling victim to the bomb that Kira implanted in Hayato, known as Bites the Dust.
Oh,
which,
baby.
Listen, I don't know if you've been listening this far and you have no interest in anime or JoJo, but if you don't, I want you to read to come along with me here. Rohan falls victim to the new power that Kira implanted in Hayato, Bites the Dust, which, for a serial killer, kills anyone who learns about Kira's identity through Hayato. The only person who knows his true identity.
What?
So that's protection not only against Hayato telling somebody, but if somebody else finds out through Hayato, they also explode and his time restarts. So this is the time loop episode. This is when he keeps going back to the breakfast table. And the mom keeps doing shit. The phone starts ringing and nobody answers it. So the mom comes in to take the phone and she slips and she falls. And eventually you get to the point where you can do that bullshit where you're like, all right, I know to catch the vase, I know to do this, move the rug and shit.
Oh my God.
Because he's done it so many times.
That is the scariest part of this to me. I feel like if I just had to fight this serial killer and I had to redo the same day over and over and over again, and we were the only two people that knew that, I hate that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound awesome.
Oh, as an adult, I hate that. As a child, oh my god.
Hayato deserves a lot of credit.
Hayato had to grow up fast.
Jesus Lord. Hayato suddenly finds himself trapped, sent back in time an hour earlier due to Bites the Dust effects and realizes he is trapped in the time loop. Now Rohan figures out Kira's identity and explodes as well. So he's part of this time loop. So at that time, on that day, no matter what, unless he undoes Bites the Dust, he will explode during that time. We're just going to explain that out of the way.
So whoever explodes becomes included in this time loop.
Yes, at the time that they would have initially exploded from finding out about Hayato. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all about now it's about defeating Kira before that time could start, or after he undoes Bites the Dust and
Breaking the loop somehow, basically.
Yep. That's Bites the Dust Part 2, or another one Bites the Dust Part 2. Realizing he's in a time loop, Hayato attempts to keep his distance from Rohan. But Kira, deducing that Hayato was already subjected to Bites the Dust, explains how his new stand's ability to avert Hayato's death and make him the means of getting rid of his pursuers. So he's going to try to go down the list and get as many people to interact with him to figure out his identity, to be trapped in that time loop.
Oh my fucking god!
All
dude.
for the hands, man. All for the hands.
All for the hands.
That's
dude.
going to be the title of this episode. All for the hands.
I did it all for the
All
hands.
for the
Limp Wristkit. I think Limp Wristkit might be the name of this episode.
I did it all for the hands. So you can take the stands. Oh my god.
I did it all for the Nucky.
Stop it. Cut it out. Kira also reveals. Kira as well reveals that anyone killed by his stand ability in the previous time loop still dies, and that canceling the ability after such a death makes the event permanent.
Oh,
so they have to get Kira to even undo Bites the Dust before that time happens. Otherwise, that person is Gonzo Alonzo.
That's so fucking scary. And also so fucking confusing.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Here's another one. Hayato is then forced to watch Rohan explode again, helpless to solve it.
Oh
Jeez.
my god.
Hayato tries to avoid Josuke, Jotaro, Koichi, and Okuyasu when they arrive, but his forced suicide attempt is prevented by Killer Queen as he sets up Bites the Dust. Yes, we have to talk about this.
Yeah. Woo. How old is Hayato? Like 5, 6?
8, probably. I don't know, middle school. 9, 10, 11, 12 max. I don't know.
This is going to take decades of therapy to undo. He's going to be unpacking this shit for a long time.
I hope Hayato awakens to a stand that will give him psychological assistance.
I hope Hayato's stand is fucking Baymax. Honestly, just help the boy.
My stand, Dr. Love, bro.
Yeah.
little kiss reference there.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, this is a crazy episode. I mean, he literally tries to kill himself because he's like, well, I am the way that people are going to die, so it's better if I die before anyone else does.
Right.
And
he tries to resist the questioning that Josuke, Jotaro, Koichi, and Okuyasu are subjecting him to. But he's a child, and they've all have been building up to this moment. We're going to go talk to this kid and try to figure out who Yoshikage Kira is. So yeah, you're right.
And imagine finding out that you know what? I have no other option than to literally kill myself in this situation. And then finding out that that's not even an option. That's so awful. That is so genuinely soul-crushingly awful to think about.
Do you think it's do you think it is, going back to that conversation from earlier, do you think it is the sphere of influence that he has that makes his actions more atrocious.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's only this 30-mile radius that he has power over. And like, dude, and he doesn't want to go anywhere else. He doesn't want to expand that. So I figure it's like a master of one thing situation where it's like, if you only do the one thing, you better do it better than anyone else.
Right.
So he just wants to be the handyman of Morioh. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, bro.
He just wants to be it. And that's all he wants.
Yeah.
And he will do anything he can to make that happen. And I think that's what makes him so dangerous, is his lack of worldly ambition. You know?
Absolutely. Or a very, very strange one.
Yeah.
Ending up back in his room at 7:30 a.m., Hayato realizes the only way of saving Josuke's group and his mother is by killing fucking Mr. Bombastic here, or forcing him to cancel Bites the Dust before Rohan's death.
I like how we're like, I think we're up to 7 new nicknames for him by the end of this episode. I like how it's a different one.
Blonde bomber, bro.
Oh, I love it, man.
Damn. Hayato hides Stray Cat while intending to use his knowledge of events to catch Kira off guard. So yeah, he goes up to the attic where Stray Cat is, and you know, for those of us that don't remember what Stray Cat is, it is a cat, and it's a plant, and it's also a stand. You're welcome.
Man, you know what? I'll spoil what we're doing next week. Like, I have been researching our podcast episode for next week all day. We're doing Bayonetta next week.
It was an interesting lore dive. I was not expecting it.
And I gotta say, the parallels between Bayonetta and Jojo are strange. They are...
Yeah.
They are weird.
Now that you're bringing it up to me, like the gems having ultimate power of the universe, like we did this. One of them's red. Okay. All right. Okay. Witches and sages. Okay. We're just doing like.
Yeah.
One of them is like the power of the sun versus the power of the moon.
It's Devil May Cry and Jojo put together.
I love it, man. And let's dance, boys. Like,
oh my god! With a little bit of Mad World for gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, it's Devil May Cry and JoJo if it played like Mad World. That's it.
Hell yeah, man.
I love it. I love it. All right. Anyway, like, I'm just sitting here like, wow, maybe the research.
Hold on. I've got one for you. Ready? Bayonetta already has a stand.
Oh shit.
Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
The gun heels that she wears are called Scarborough Fair. And they're like her most powerful weapon. It's named after a song. It's literally a stand. Like,
yeah. Holy shit.
She's already a stand user, canon.
Oh,
a stand
yeah.
user and Joker's mom. She's just racking them up. She's she's fantastic.
Unbelievable, dude.
Oh man. So, however, Kira protects himself from Stray Cat with a watch that he had put in his jacket earlier. That is true. So, Hayato manages to break Kira's watch that morning when the time loop resets. So he puts the watch in his pocket. And when he finally like approaches Hayato, which is a stressful scene. I love that scene of like, oh my god, he's behind the tree. I won't be able to hit him. Do I risk it? Whatever. He hits him in the chest, and it seems like everything's done. Everything's good to go. But the air bullet hits the watch in his pocket instead.
That is terrible.
Yeah, man.
That's so... Oh my god. I feel so bad for Hayato. Is there a more unlucky character in anime?
I don't know if it's Hayato being unlucky, because I think he's incredibly lucky. I think it's Kira having just... Like, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring. I'm always grinding my more endurance to wear heavier armor. Kira's got the fullest, thickest set of plot armor I've ever seen in my life.
He really does.
3 stands? Oh, he put the watch in his pocket. Okay. All right, Araki. You really want this guy around, huh?
How tough is that watch? If I put my fucking Apple Watch in my pocket, it's not stopping a bullet. Are you out of your mind? Like, if I put a Nokia in my pocket, it probably, like, it might save me, but that shit's still going in me.
Nah, I think a Nokia was going to stop that shit real quick.
You think it's going to stop it entirely?
Bricks?
Yeah, like the old school one?
100%.
Dude, what kind of watch is that?
I don't know, man.
It's a watch.
It's a watch.
It's like a coin. It's as thick as a coin.
Yeah.
It's mostly glass.
He got a little ouchie from the glass.
So mad.
Like just a little bit. Nothing crazy.
If I put my fucking Invicta in my pocket, it's not stopping a bullet.
No.
I'm sorry. It's
True.
not. And that's a thick watch. I could kill a man with that watch.
Listen, a G-Shock isn't stopping a bullet.
It's not happening.
All right. We've got episode 37. Crazy D in parentheses. Diamond is unbreakable. All right.
I thought it just stopped at diamond.
No, it's Crazy D. Diamond is unbreakable.
Oh my god.
Or in the English dub, part 1, Shining Diamond is unbreakable. So these are the last 3 episodes.
You know when the episode title is the title of the arc? That's it.
It's about time for the breakdown.
Absolutely.
Hayato secretly calls Josuke to arrive a bit early while tricking Kira into exposing himself as a murderer. So the secret's out once again. A brand new face, and this guy still does this bullshit. This forces Kira to cancel Bite to the dust in time to protect himself from Josuke, with Rohan's life saved as Okuyasu arrives. So he undoes it before Rohan explodes.
Oh, shit.
Very nice. Despite being outmatched, Kira takes advantage of Hayato bringing a stray cat and places it in Killer Queen's body like fucking Krang from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, he really does.
What?
Do I hear 4?
It's like 3.5.
It's... I would say it's an outright 4.
It is kind of like an outright 4 stance.
Outright 4. I'd say 4.5 because it's got a mind of its own.
Anything he touches can turn into a bomb. He can also detach a small bomb that will chase you forever.
An invincible small bomb.
Invincible small bomb that will say,
forever.
"Oh, thank you for thank you. Please, gotta include that." He has a stand that if you figure out who he is
through his child,
you're going to die. And it's in your eyes, so you can't even escape from it, by the way. I forget we didn't talk about that with Bites to Dust. It's in your freaking eyeball. I hate that. Just saying.
And then let's add a ranged attack that you can't see.
Can't see. Does incredible damage.
Just Dio is rolling in his grave right now. He's like, where the fuck was this when I was like, why this guy?
Dio like, I probably should have taken one more of those arrows.
Dio's like, you're telling me that's possible?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to say, like, what happens if the world gets another power?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know, Jotaro. Why don't you go find out?
Literally.
Oh my God. Just train a little. Just a little.
A little bit.
You have the time. Don't even give me the excuse that you don't have the time. That's literally what your stand's about, you idiot.
Hey, you can have more time to train if you stop time.
I know. I'm so
And in
mad
doing
about
so,
it.
you would inadvertently train your ability to stop time.
It's like a perfect loop that gives you the ability to train forever.
Awful.
Oh my God.
Despite being outmatched,
Which also begs
yes.
the question.
What's up?
How fucking crazy would it be if one day Jotaro figures out how to stop time like indefinitely, right? And he does like a year's worth of training inside that little time bubble. Just imagine if like one of us could do that and like right now, like as I'm sitting right now, I stop time and go train for a year,
And then-
I just immediately, like, I just to you, it just looks like I'm sitting here, and then all of a sudden, I am ripped.
Yeah, no. I would probably cry. I think that everything that I would know about reality would be different. I'd be like, well, it's rude. He's still talking. I don't want to say anything. Like, you know,
Like mid sentence, I just become absolutely shredded. Holy shit, that would be so funny. Oh my god.
I think that, you know, it would be shocking, but I mean, hell yeah. I'd probably just be like, you know what, good for him.
Yeah, right. Like,
He had his magical Dwayne the Rock Johnson spurt. Oh, okay. So, when he places the bomb in it's like, what's his name from the SpongeBob movie, David Hasselhoff, like the abs like retract. It's like a transformer. It's so dumb.
I cannot believe you just likened Killer Queen to David Hasselhoff.
The controls.
The control.
Despite being outmatched, Kira takes advantage of Hayato bringing Stray Cat and places it in Killer Queen's body, so his stand can create invisible remote bombs with Okuyasu taking heavy damage. Yeah, Okuyasu almost dying, but he sent one at Josuke first. I want to say we've watched this one recently. This spot stuck out to me. Stuck out to me. Stuck is not a word. Sorry.
Oh, good.
Okuyasu uses the hand to eliminate the space between the bomb and him, and Josuke, and brings the bomb over to himself and sacrifices himself. Crazy. Man,
Yeah.
sad. Josuke tries to reach Okuyasu and heal him, but Hayato deduces that Kira has already touched him and therefore has turned Okuyasu into a bomb. Amazing.
So crazy.
Josuke is
The most dangerous game of tag you've ever played in your life.
a most lethal game of tag.
Yeah.
Josuke tries to reach Okuyasu and is therefore now he's conflicted over either A, sacrificing himself to save Okuyasu, or leaving Okuyasu to possibly die of his injuries in order to fight and eliminate Kira. So Josuke being now, him and Okuyasu are like always together. They're always seen together after a certain amount of episodes.
Yeah.
So
They're fucking homies.
that's right. So this is like a big one. Deducing that Kira can only set off one bomb at a time, Hayato sets off the bomb on himself.
My fucking god.
This
dude.
is a middle schooler once again.
Oh my god.
He can only, do one bomb at a time. So Hayato sets off the bomb on himself. Josuke quickly restores Hayato and heals Okuyasu, who seems to have died. Only seems to have died. Josuke refuses to accept Okuyasu is dead as he uses Crazy Diamond on the road debris in his wounds to dodge Kira's air bombs. What? No, it was so good. And if you watch this, it's so well explained. Like he's busted up the debris on the street so that when he uses it on the ones that are in his wounds, it just forms a wall. Like a shield.
Yeah, true.
So cool. Honestly, I think it was a really good moment when it happened.
Yeah. Again, you have to watch these episodes for any of this shit to make sense. Like, Jojo is the worst thing to listen to out of context because I just want to show this to someone who hasn't watched anime, and I just want to see their eyes roll so far back into their head they can see the goblin that pilots their brain.
That's what I wanted out of our doing JoJo on this podcast. It was just like, here it is. Here it is. If you want to watch it, you can watch it, but here it is.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's like explaining something so that you don't have to watch it, you know?
Yeah, to quote Nicole, explain to me everything and nothing at all is the entirety of the JoJo podcast series that we have done.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. But I feel like once you watch it, and you're right, once you're in it, and once you like are in with the context and the emotional capacity,
You don't even question this shit while
Not
you're
even.
watching it.
not even at all. They did the bizarre. They told you up front.
Oh yeah.
And I still find it not as uncomfortable as certain other animes to watch.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like, what is your plot point right now? What did I miss that makes this make sense? Like, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Hayato retreats into a nearby house with Josuke, and Kira deems Josuke as a true threat to himself. So now Josuke is hiding in the house in order to like try to make it more difficult for Kira to hit him.
Right.
Leading us into Crazy D Diamond is Unbreakable Part 2 or Shining Diamond is Unbreakable Part 2, Episode 38. Did I already say that?
I think so.
Whoops.
Oh, good.
Now everybody knows the episode. Kira finds out Josuke's location in the house while Josuke is badly wounded after being caught in an explosion. So Kira is somehow able to know where Josuke is in the house, and we don't know where it is just yet. But it's like very scary because these invisible fucking bullets are
So unbelievable.
following him. Yeah.
I hate that. I hate it. Would be so much less scary if you could see the air bubbles. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Sure. It'd be like a very, very important game of dodgeball.
Yeah, but like just the fact that they're like as if it wasn't scary enough, they're invisible. Why does he get all of the most overpowered shit? Always.
Kira's hot dogs have like 4 in that bun. Like
Oh my god. He's got a quad
Ketchup.
barrel hot dog.
ketchup, mayo, relish, everything.
Oh my god.
Oh my lord. Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. However, Josuke uses his hardened blood on a vase fragment, throwing it out of the window to turn it into a homing bullet that hits the area of Kira's body with Josuke's blood on it using Crazy Diamond. 4,000 IQ.
Unreal. I feel like though, once you have a stand that can just reassemble anything into anything you want, I feel like you just play with that while you're by yourself. You
Right.
just figure out shit that you can do, you know? And I'm like, I feel like he just knows how to do that always. I feel like Josuke just knows how to bullshit his way out of everything because he figured out what his stand can do. Again, looking at you, Jotaro.
Literally.
Looking at you, buddy.
Literally.
But, like, he just sat and... this is the power of knowing what your stand can do.
Josuke deserved to be in part 5.
He did.
Josuke
He
deserved to be in
absolutely
part 5.
did. Why is Koichi there?
I don't know.
Like,
Anyway.
why is he there for 3 episodes?
Josuke then notices that Kira is using a cell phone. Spooky.
Mm-hmm.
And realizes that Yoshihiro...
Spooky.
I don't know why I went for that one. That was a weird descriptor to use there.
It's so scary. This was the 90s.
I was trying to say that it's suspicious. That's what I was trying to say. He is using those gigantic 90s block cell phones. He is using the like Patrick Bateman special. Like
I feel like it just like he pulls out his phone and everyone's like, look out, he's got a phone.
if that was the case, everyone would have found out he was a serial killer a couple of weeks back prior. It'd be like, this guy's using his cell phone. Who are you talking to? Your victims?
Who do you need to call at any point?
I need to call my lawyer.
Oh my god.
So Kira, Yosuke. What is happening, man? Josuke then notices that Kira is using a cell phone and realizes that Yoshihiro has been hiding in Hayato's pocket to relay their position. So
Unbelievable.
the talking Polaroid was in the kid's pocket the whole time.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. Josuke tricks Kira into killing Yoshihiro with an explosion that attracts Kira's attention. Somehow, Josuke was able to perfectly mimic this elderly man's voice so that his own son couldn't understand that it was a stranger and blew up this man inside his Polaroid prison.
I mean, I was doing silly voices when I was like 13.
Sure.
You know, like I feel like if that's just the kind of goober that Josuke is, like, which it seems like that's the kind of goober. Goober. Like, it's a very specific kind of dork.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's just the kind of kid he is, you know, where he was
Yes.
just doing that. So he probably just was like, fuck it, here's my only option. And then, like, it happened. And he's like, maybe after this I should consider voice acting.
No,
Holy crap.
It was great because he kills Yoshihiro and is like, yes, we got him. Kira's like, yes, we got him. And he goes, yeah, you got him. And it's Josuke's voice. And you just see like all of the color drain from his face. It's so awesome.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, so
the only villain to be taken out by the power of voice acting. Except, I think in the Batman, there was like a Batman episode where it was like Mark Hamill himself was actually in the episode.
yes, and he was talking to the trickster, who is voiced by Mark Hamill,
And the Joker.
who is also voiced by Mark Hamill. Yes, correct. Yes,
That
thank
was
you.
funny.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. Josuke then draws Kira into a close quarters fight, but Stray Cat protects Kira from Crazy Diamond's attacks. I don't exactly remember how they did that, but it happened. The cat,
They put like an air bubble in between.
yeah, like
them
air
and,
bubble shield craziness.
This ranged attack that can follow you is also
A tank
shield.
effect. A tank effect. Yeah, awful.
How do you get to be an unbreakable glass cannon and a range tank? How do you?
I don't know. While Josuke is about to be hit by an air bomb, Okuyasu, who is apparently fine, suddenly appears and snatches Stray Cat from Killer Queen by using Zahando.
Oh yeah, buddy. One of the only times that stand comes in handy.
Yeah. Awful.
Thank you.
Okay. Kira is driven into a corner as Jotaro and the others arrive alongside emergency vehicles responding to the explosions, which is unfortunately about to become very relevant.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, we're on the last episode
Holy shit,
for
dude.
part 4.
Holy shit.
It
dude.
felt like up until a year ago that part 5 was like the last, part of JoJo, and here we are about to begin it pretty much. So,
Dude, fucking, it's so good to see Kira sweat. It's
Yeah.
so good. This is a man who's never had to worry about getting caught his whole life. This is a man who lorded himself as the smartest motherfucker ever, and he's getting outsmarted by high schoolers. Like,
high
he's
schoolers, children,
just children.
the odd infant that passes, like,
Oh my god. Speaking of the infant,
where is Shizuka Joestar?
what the fuck happened with that plot line?
She's Japolian. She's gonna be the part 9 protagonist. Don't you know? She's Joan of Arc. Don't you know?
I would adore it if she was invisible the whole time. She's just a floating pair of sunglasses.
It's just a blank page. It's just a floating Joestar birthmark.
Oh my
All right. Are you ready to do it, buddy?
god. Yes.
Episode 39. You know what? This one hurts to hear.
I know.
Episode 39.
The diamond is broken.
Goodbye, Morioh.
Oh,
The Heart of Gold.
yeah.
Also, Sayonara Moriocho in the sub. Surrounded by ambulances and fire engines, Kira attempts to use Bites the Dust on an approaching nurse in a last-ditch attempt to kill everyone and avert events, which leads to the famous speech by Mr. Kira, who just like is straight up to this nurse, like, I am Yoshikage Kira. My name is Yoshikage Kira. And is using Bites the Dust on her in order to reset the time loop.
That's so crazy.
Because apparently catching the beat down from Star Platinum didn't fucking do anything. Because at some point as well, Jotaro stops, time and attempts to, really give it to Kira. So he is literally maybe the only villain that has ever tanked a beatdown from fucking Star Platinum.
Unbelievable. You know what he couldn't have tanked? A trained Star Platinum.
Really?
Again.
Once
Looking
again.
at you, buddy.
Once again. So he tells the story about when he was a young man, how his hand fetish started. He was looking at a copy of the Mona Lisa, famous for her smile. However, for Kira, he was a little bit more interested in the hands. So much so that he bought a cropped version of the portrait that was just the hands.
Yoshikage Kira could have been avoided by just, like, the internet.
Therapy.
The internet and therapy, could have stopped Yoshikage Kira.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
You could just log on to, like, 10fingeredsluts.com, like, just do anything else than murdering women for their hands.
Do you think unboxing videos do?
Oh my god, I bet they do. I have no doubts.
Oh my god. Very shocked that him and Okuyasu didn't get along.
Stop. Ridiculous.
You'd think that's the one stand. He'd be like, yeah, absolutely.
And he does it. He successfully restarts the time loop. And Kira finds himself in Ghost Alley, with Remy reintroducing herself after having Kira remember that he died from being crushed under a moving ambulance instead, and was after Koichi and Jotaro prevented him from triggering Bites the Dust. So, this is how things actually happened. Kira thought that he did Bites the Dust, but he did not. Apparently, Koichi weighed down his hand, and then Jotaro used it to stop time, beat up his finger so he couldn't attack using Bites the Dust.
That's so cool.
Kira realizes that he is Ghost Alley, but is forced to look back when Remy's dog Arnold bites off his hand. Kira is then torn to pieces while dragged away by the spectral hands, which is very fitting, right? And Remy literally says to him, it's just like, I don't know where these things take you, but I hope they take you to hell.
Oh, what a cool line. What a cool fucking line, dude.
And you get to see Kira literally just like terrified by this, like,
yeah,
forever,
good. Fuck him.
This like forever punishment. And I don't know what is currently going on with Yoshikage Kira, but I don't think it's good, but I do think it's deserved.
Yeah, it's good for everyone else. That's all it is.
No longer bound to the city of Morioh by her attachments, Remy and Arnold bid farewell to everyone before moving on to the next life. And this is actually when the one that I talked about last podcast, this is when that montage starts with like, look at all the fun we had with all these characters.
Oh
and
my god.
The theme plays again, and literally every single character that we've seen so far shows up. Like, it's crazy town.
Oh my god, I can't with shows like this, because they do this and then they play that super happy intro music for Morioh. I'm like, bro, just fucking let me breathe. Just let me breathe.
I have to breathe.
Like, oh my god, I don't want to hear this right now.
No. The next day, Jotaro and Joseph return home, with Josuke seeing them off as the summer of 1999 ends. Which, what a time. What a moment that was. Because
we were alive for the events of Diamonds of Unbreakable.
We were exactly 5 years old for the events.
My god, we could have went to school with Hayato. Like,
literally.
Hayato is a millennial. Like, he is a depressed millennial right now.
I'll bet. I have no idea.
Wow, do we need to funnel all of our generation's therapy directly into Hayato?
Yeah. And
wow.
it's so good because Joseph and Jotaro are talking. They're like, look, this place seems like generally protected. Like, we don't have to come back here, probably.
Yeah.
Which, good for you, Joseph. I'm glad you avoided the consequences of your actions once again. Thank God. Great.
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
problem. Like,
absolutely.
I don't think he ever goes to see Tomoko.
No, he doesn't.
I
Not
think
once.
that's true. Yeah, but Josuke's like, hey, he's calling to him from the dock of the boat, and he goes, hey, do you still have that picture of my mom that I got you? And he goes, yeah, I just put it in my wallet, just like you told me to. It's like, thanks. And he used his shining diamond to steal Joseph's wallet.
He's such a piece of shit. Like, I love Josuke so much.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous.
And that's just like where we're supposed to leave Josuke in his journey. Everyone's there, like Osukeyasu's like, and his dad are eating at Tonio Trendy's restaurant.
Yeah.
And they're
that's
saying
cool.
that like the more food he eats, the more like his dad might be healed one day.
That's cool.
So I love that moment. Obviously, we go back and we find Mikitaka and the guy living on the cell phone tower still.
They're homies.
Yeah, they're friends. It's great. And Josuke, and Okuyasu and Koichi go to school, and Josuke hits the pose with his bag over his shoulder.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
it's over. And
We just gotta hang with that for a little while after oh my God. I think it's so great. I think it is amazing. But Josuke, take a week off. Just take a week off. School is not that important.
Get a girlfriend.
Get a girlfriend. Get some therapy. Dude.
Get a summer job. Do whatever you gotta do.
Just chill out.
Yeah.
Go spend some time with your mom for a little bit.
She's had a rough one, man.
She's had a bit.
She was turned into a mosaic a couple of episodes ago.
Oh, my God. I also think it's crazy, worth noting, that none of the villains in part 4 were associated with Kira.
Not entirely true, because Yoshihiro was making them using the stand arrow.
Yoshihiro was making them using the stand arrow, but none of them themselves were associated with Kira.
That's not true.
Really?
That's decidedly not true. There's the Cheap Trick stand tried to get him to burn the photos of Kira. Enigma and
oh yeah, he did.
Enigma
He did.
and the other one from that episode were both like, "Oh, this guy sent us. So get rid of you, like whatever." So no, like most of them weren't, but a few of them decided.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, no, you're right. I forgot that was his motive. I thought they were all just like people that just happened to get stands.
Jonkin Boy.
Jonkin Boy. Yeah, Jonkin Boy was just a guy
was
who
on Kira payroll. No, that was a thing.
Oh yeah, he was on. Well, he was on. Oh
he
yeah,
was on
Kira.
Yoshihiro's payroll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely true. And
How does a Polaroid make money? How does he pay for these things?
Polaroid fans. I don't know, man.
How does he access his bank account? Does he just go into the ATM himself?
I have no idea. just moves the arrow in there a little bit. But I love part 4. I don't know if it's really because we don't get any more resolution on the Morioh story other than what's going on in part 5. But I will suggest something if you watch part 4 and you're like, wow, I need a little bit more part 4 in my life. There is an OVA starring Rohan, which we could Star Wars Rogue One right here in between part 4 and part 5.
We could probably do that. Oh yeah, I forgot Rogue One. Is it weird that I forgot Rogue One was a movie for a little while?
No, that's fine because it basically is like here's the bandage between Star Wars 3 and Star Wars 4. Here you go.
So weird, man.
But what can you do? But yeah, it's kind of like the bridge between part 4 and part 5 because it starts. Koichi's in it. Rohan is the main character, obviously. 4 very wacky episodes. Thus Spoke Kishibe Rohan. It's a reference to Thus Spoke Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche. And I love it. I think we should do it. But I think part 4 stands on its own for its unique art style, its beautiful colors, and its really kind of wacky premise and stands while also remaining, what I like to call, what I'm putting in quotes recently as Jojo serious.
Yeah, it's definitely the Wind Waker of Jojo.
Stop. You're so right. You're so right.
I mean, it's so much fun. It's always again, like Wind Waker, it's always very light and colorful and fun while still touching on those I'm taking over the world and committing mass genocide themes that Ganondorf so likes to do.
Yeah.
And but he does it in this beautiful Technicolor world.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah. We love a charming fat Ganon in this house.
we love a sword Ganon, absolutely. A double katana Ganon. Where was that in Smash, dude?
Should be an alternate skin.
Oh, hell yeah. But I love part 4. I like I said before, I didn't like it at first. It took a little bit for me to enjoy it. But wow, did it explode into one of my favorite arcs of anime. Real quick.
Really?
It's cool. It's so cool. And part 5 is really cool. I love part 5. I thought it was great, but I think part 4 was better.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think part 4 was better than part 5.
I think they're both great in their own way. As far as enjoyment, I will say that I probably agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, part 5 is it's cool. It's really, the story ties to the original series are really cool, and you get to see pretty much all these arcs come together.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. But at the same time, part 4 was just this way out of the way kind of JoJo series. And it stood, like you said, it stood entirely alone, essentially.
Yeah.
It had this one loose tie to the Joseph Joestar line, and that was it. Jotaro was there, is the only way I can tie it to part 3.
You could say the same thing about part 5.
Yeah.
You could.
Jotaro was there. That's about it.
Right. And it has a family tie to the original series. I think that part 5 goes more granular, and I think that's where it shines. But I think that part 4's concepts are so general that anyone can watch this and be like, this is fun. I'm having fun.
Yeah. And not only that, but the villains were so well written. Everything was so well paced, and you could just hop right in and enjoy yourself.
That's true. It does not have the pacing issues that part 3 ran into, I think.
Exactly. Everything felt like it was exactly as long as it needed to be. All of these B villains were not dragged out like they were in part 3. They got an episode, they got a weird resolution, and they were fucking homies. That was it. That was all it was.
Or they were hideously beaten.
Exactly. They were either dead or homies, and that's it. And it was always at the end of the episode. And in the middle of the episode, you knew which one it was going to be. And I love that.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed part 4 a lot. So I strongly encourage anybody listening to go and watch it.
Yeah.
So it's a ringing endorsement.
I don't know if I would watch. I would, I'm of the proponent of you can kind of start JoJo wherever you please. I would watch part 3 before watching part 4.
Yeah,
I have to say
you don't have to watch as much as I adore part 2. You don't really have to watch.
I don't know. I've been much more pro part 2 recently.
Part 2 is so much fun. I love it, but because I'll be honest, part 1 wasn't that bad for me. It was for me. And you know why it wasn't that bad? Because it was only 9 episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure it is.
It's fine. If it was any longer than that, it would have been no, don't even bother.
We're actually going to do something where after Abby watches part 6, after the new Crops episodes come out, we're going to go back and watch part 1 again.
Oh,
as
God.
Here's it from way back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that that about does it for the events of Morioh Town, as sad it is to say.
Yeah, I hope we go back there eventually. I hope we at least can go check in on Josuke at some point.
Yeah, apparently he'll be getting his own spin-off manga with Whole Horse, apparently.
What? What?
Yes, it is a thing. I'll send it to you on your own. But yeah, it's
Why?
Why not?
Why is Whole Horse this like beloved? Why is he the Captain Falcon of this fucking series?
He was going to be a Stardust Crusader. Araki was going to make him be a homie, but it just didn't make sense apparently. So yeah, apparently Whole Horse still alive after the events of Part 3 makes his way to Morioh Town. So that's coming out. That's a thing. So
that's so weird.
Yeah, you can just Google Josuke Whole Horse spinoff and it'll come up. Very excited for it.
Okay. All right.
It's
cool.
more Josuke content. That's as far as I'm concerned.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's more Josuke
That's
content.
so fucking bizarre. Is it like an old man Whole Horse and like Josuke is like in his 40s?
Well, no.
Right.
It seems to be directly like it's probably like 2001, 2002. If this was the events of 1999.
Oh my god! So he just goes to Morioh for some reason.
Because Part 6, I think, is in 2009 or 2016, somewhere in between there. I don't remember when the events of Part 6 are. I want to say.
Oh my god!
But yeah, so look out for that. Thanks for coming along.
Holy
with us.
shit, man! Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, no problem. It was great to be here.
Absolutely. And now I think we hop on a boat, we sail away.
Let the voice of love take you higher.
Just give me a minute. Just a minute. Fucking minute. Just give me a minute.